just sitting here in my car, and today I've got some annual leave, so I'm just like having coffee and just literally sitting here quietly and thinking. And I was watching this other girl's like TikTok channel the other night, and she was talking about how to live like a more luxury lifestyle, and she was talking about things like getting like a credit card. By the way, please don't take this advice because I don't even know if this is an actual thing or not, but anyway, she was talking about getting a credit card and building up points and getting first class flights as a result of that. I think this is a thing, but that's not my point. But my point that I was thinking of is like, yeah, doing all of those things to live a more luxury lifestyle is great, but do you know one of the best things I ever did for my life, to elevate my life, like, was actually just getting more of an education. The moment I did my postgraduate diploma in career guidance, and I took that risk because I was in a full-time paid job at the time, and I took the risk to actually go out of my workforce and actually re-enter into full-time education, my life completely like transformed. I'm not joking. Like, I used to have this job in Glasgow, and I'm grateful that I had that job and that experience, and I worked with some fantastic people. But at the time, I just used to feel like so down, like all the time, because I just couldn't see a way out of like ever like moving on or moving up or like moving forward or anything. I wasn't particularly great at the job because it just wasn't really suited to me. And I just took the decision of like, right, I'm going to go and do this course. And so I did, and obviously since that, it's then enabled me to like move to an area like this. One thing I'd say about the course, like, I did a postgraduate diploma in career guidance and development at Edinburgh Napier University, but I wouldn't just say like just jump into like a master's or like a, you know, any kind of course. Like, think about it. For me, this one at the time, I could see that quite a lot of the careers advising roles were quite well paid. Like, it would, you get a nice salary. It's almost like the equivalent of like a teaching job sort of thing in terms of salary and the education that you get for that. So for me, doing something vocational like that just totally transformed my life. Like, it was an amazing starting point. The reason I make that differentiation between a vocational course and like doing just like learning history or something like that, and by the way, that has its place, it's just I don't want people jumping into full-time education thinking that's going to just automatically transform their life. I think you have to have an intention of why you're doing it. If you want to do what I'm doing and, you know, elevate your life or whatever, have intentionality behind why you're doing like a course. It doesn't even have to be like a postgraduate course like what I did. You don't even have to go to university to do that. Like, you know, you can do professional training courses. Like, a couple of years ago, you might remember, I did my coaching qualification, and I did that through my work. And again, I could have utilised that in a practical way as well. So I think getting like practical vocational training is just the way to get a skill, get something. So anyway, I think that was one thing that really elevated my life, and at the time it was an investment in terms of cost. So, you know, it cost me, I can't remember exactly, but it cost me a couple of grand to do it anyway. And at the time you're thinking, oh god, I'm going to be skint, like I'm going to do this course and I'm not going to have any money and whatever. And that was obviously the case for like a period of time. Sorry, I've went out of focus here, it's lost me here. But it's just like what you get in return. I was talking about this on my channel like last week with the you know, up leveling and upskilling and whatever, and I was talking about getting my driving lessons. It's the same thing. Like, you just have to put something in sometimes to get something back out and do something. Maybe sometimes it seems like a wee bit of a risk, like me leaving my full-time job to go into full-time education. That was a huge decision. It was a massive risk. And even like that thing with learning to drive, it was just such a financial cost to do that, but what you get back at the end, you actually just can't put a price on that. So what I'm saying is, it's not to say that her advice is invalid, and I actually think it sounds really interesting. I'd like to learn more about it and learn if that actually is a thing, but I think sometimes the biggest investment you can make is the investment in yourself, like your own education, your own skill set and things like that. And so that's one part of it, but the other part being, sorry this is quite long, but it's on my mind and I just thought I really need to say this, is that I'm sitting here in this environment and you can see what it's like behind me. It's like a gorgeous day. I'm sitting at the harbour, I'm having my coffee, nobody's bothering me, I've got nothing, you know, like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, this is peace for me. And it's like, you can do all the elevating you want and getting as many points on that whatever card it is for your first class flight all you want, but pick an environment that's nice. Like, try your absolute level best to get into, like, when you, in terms of where you live, like, try and live in a nice area. And I'm not saying it's accessible to everybody and it's not easy and whatever. I totally appreciate that. Like, this is a very, very expensive kind of area and postcode to be living in, but it's like, just think about the actual place you live in, because on a day like, excuse me, I'm going to get a sip of coffee, sorry. On a day like today, when I've got time off, sorry, I don't have to actually travel far to, like, just have a nice lifestyle round about me. And last night, God, this sounds so, like, suave, but I went and got my nails done last night, as you can see. And then after that, on the way home, I just went down to Fairmont and had a swim. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that if I lived in a different area, I could possibly go for a swim, but I couldn't go for, like, a swim, like, in luxury, if that makes sense. It's just because I live in this area. I don't mean that to sound braggy or to sound boastful or anything like that. Like, honestly, I'm so grateful. Like, every morning I wake up and I'm like, how on earth is this my life? Like, it blows my mind. But I really say it in the way that I think, like, if I could have got here doing this, it's like anybody can do it. It's really not like, there's no rocket science to it. Just really have to focus and think. So as much as it's great from what I'm saying, and I'm not putting down her advice in any way, but it's just like focusing on things like, oh, if I pay more on my credit card and get first class flights or whatever, that's elevating your life. But it's like, just think about a nice area. There's loads of nice areas in Scotland. Like, even if you couldn't afford to live somewhere like here, like East Neuk, like, I go down places on the train sometimes, and like Kinghorn, like Burnt Island, whatever, and it's like gorgeous. Like, it's so nice, and it's just like, it just brings so much peace to your life, and I just can't explain how much that elevates it. So yeah, I might make another video just talking about maybe tips on how you can do it, because I feel like, I hope this doesn't come across like I'm bragging in any way, and I never ever take this for granted for one moment. And I also very, very much appreciate that we're living in, you know, tricky economic times just now, and it's like, it's tough out there. It's like, it's not just as easy as being like, well, I'm just going to move to East Neuk of Fife or something like that. I get that, but yeah, I don't even know if I'll post this in the vlog, to be honest with you, because I'm like, I just don't want it to come across like really braggy. I just really hope that somebody can watch this and think, yeah, actually, yeah, I could do that as well. So yeah. The next train at platform 2 will be the 7:27 service to Aberdeen. This train is formed of one carriage. Morning everyone. So today is Saturday, and I'm actually, it's like very, very early in the morning. I was up at like 5 o'clock this morning, which is not unheard of for me, but I don't normally do that to then travel somewhere. So it's about 7:30 now, and I'm going into Edinburgh again, so which is going to be a bit similar to my last vlog. But I'm meeting my sister there, and we're actually going to go to the Gleneagles Townhouse today. Now, I've never been to this, and I don't know how it came to my brain just to think to go there, but I just thought, oh, it would be nice just to get breakfast. So you may remember back in October, my sister and I met and we went to Harvey Nichols, and in that vlog you will remember that she was late, and she has just let me know that she has missed her train. So the theme continues, so I will be there way before her, and I'll just get myself a coffee. I'm quite looking forward to this. The other thing being, when I was on the Gleneagles Townhouse website, they have like the membership as well. Now, if I lived a little bit closer to Edinburgh, I would be tempted to get a membership, but I'm not in Edinburgh enough to justify getting a membership, so that's unfortunate. It would actually be quite nice if they did like a pass, like a 10 ticket pass or something like that, instead of like a full membership, because then that way you can have a pass for when you are there for like the year, but not have to pay like the membership, because I can't really justify that if I'm not there enough, sort of thing. So anyway, that's it. So I will just have to keep up with Fairmont. I think it's a bit of a different thing to being at Fairmont, because it's not necessarily just like a gym membership. I think it's more like a sort of like being part of a club kind of thing, and where you can just like go and sit and use the lounge and all that sort of thing. So
it seems very nice. I might just leave that feedback today because I would really like to get a membership, but I just can't like say I'll get a membership and then be there like once a month or something like that. So that's that. The other thing I was thinking is that actual fact it would be fantastic to have something like that in St Andrews, like a townhouse or something like Gleneagles Townhouse. I think it would do so well there. And the sort of connection between Gleneagles with the golf and also St Andrews, I'm like, yeah, it would definitely get memberships there. So yeah, that's my thinking currently. So anywho, right, I'll take you to the townhouse. I'll show you what it's like. Don't know what to expect. I think it'll be really nice, and I think we might do a bit of shopping afterwards. So yeah.
So I'm just waiting on my sister, and the restaurant for the townhouse is called the Spence, and this is the breakfast menu. So there's a special here which is eggs, hang on, I've went out of focus, and sourdough bread. Then you have like breakfast bowls like yogurt, fruit, granola, that sort of thing. It also seems like a really nice selection of smoothies as well. And then you've got breads and pastries, so all your sort of pain au chocolat, croissants. We all know that I love a pastry. And then hot favourites, oh sorry, house favourites rather. And this is more like, I suppose, like bigger plates of things like French toast, eggs on toast, all of that sort of stuff. And then you've got sides here as well, and then all of that. So that's the menu in case you're interested. For that reason. Oh, it's just not very aesthetic. Oh, that's nice with a picnic stick, good idea.